Hi, everyone. I'm Marika Roque. I am the Chief Innovation Officer at Kerv Interactive. We're a video AI company, so I'm going to be talking to you about use cases using video AI and the way that you buy and create ads today across content owners like Paramount as well today. A quick thank you to Paramount. We have a great global relationship with them in which we actually partner with them on innovation across ads, content, and even in-content shoppability, which shows that you wouldn't even imagine would be shoppable like Survivor. So without further ado, let's kind of bring it to bases. What the heck does Kerv do? And it's great because all the companies that led into this conversation are very different than what I'm going to talk to you about. So Kerv is very, very focused on video in particular. So we process video that exists. McKinsey has a stat that 98% of brand marketers like yourselves are going to use AI to change the consumer experience. With more than half of you already doing that. That's exactly what I'm going to talk to you about today with existing video content. If you look at the top left of this slide, you'll see where we're with Kerv since the beginning. We started back in 2017, not just a couple of years ago, with computer vision and video with our first patent. We actually ingest video and create all this patent-based metadata. So think about pixel edges. Everything in a scene of content can actually be synthesized in this whole new way using computer vision and AI. And without AI, you can't actually synthesize so many data points, which most of you are probably looking at those data points as consumer data points, consumer data, flows through the journey, how are people spending, that sort of thing. We have those things in common with you all, but we're then correlating that into the way that you're buying and looking at video. So again, imagine if you can correlate to, you know that this video is working. What was in it? How could we make that more shoppable? So again, what Kerv does, and yes, we deemed Kerv because of the curved pixel edges of the polygons that you see with this eye example. But this is the basis of our first patent, the basis of the computer vision that we started building about 10 years ago with video at its focus. These little circles build our neural nets. This is really important as I navigate into this slide here. And again, bear with me, but as you see the circles as part of this neural net, the way that we build our models that take in video content, and that content can be content or ads, is actually processing them using the shapes of a shirt, the shapes of a blender, the shapes of the products that you feature across your brands, and actually create things like super time-based contextual opportunities, super time-based product match. You probably can't have a conversation these days without thinking about shoppable content, shoppable video. And we're actually partnering with folks like Paramount to figure that out at scale. And there's no way to do that without the use of this type of technology, or there's no way to scale matching against product catalogs, that sort of thing. Lastly, of course, we're going to talk about dynamic and interactive ads because that's kind of the crawl, walk, run. So you got to start somewhere. And then we realized about a year ago, as we're processing video, thinking about super difficult things to quantify, like how many products are in a video, what are they, et cetera, that we have some of the richest brand safety data to offer to brands and publishers as well off the shelf. With that being said, I just wanted to set the stage as I talk to you guys through these demos. We have been partnering for the past 10 plus years with very prestigious brands like yourselves. So as we've been optimizing the AI, we're not doing so in a vacuum. We're doing it with your feedback, being the Paramounts, the NBCs, the Disneys of the world, as well as the brand side with Walmart, as you can see in the middle, Sephora. But a really big kind of note here is that we're not just shoppable. Think about how this deep metadata can actually empower interactive and engageable experiences for automotive, as you see here on the left. And we've won a few awards with Audi on that, as well as targeting opportunities, utilizing this metadata across any sort of vertical. You follow me, I'm sure. So getting deeper into this, the way that we've kind of organized the demos, just so you can kind of understand, like this is available today, and we're working on and scaling this today, is we've separated this into how to apply this to ads and how to apply this to content. So here's a quick example of ads, and I chose tourism on purpose because applying a Sephora product feed to a Sephora branded piece of content is very easy to imagine. But here you can see applying the metadata elements like captain, beverages, pool, et cetera, are maybe a little bit more difficult to imagine, and thinking about how to apply a tech like ours to a vertical like tourism, which is actually one of our most successful verticals. So here's an example of one of our units, super turnkey, super off the shelf. And again, one of the big differences with our AI tools is we use existing video versus some of the other folks that were up here. We're talking about generative AI tools that are producing video. Just want to clarify that. This is a beautiful sizzle that we created with Paramount, where I want to talk to you about the content side now. So Kerv has been building this using AI and computer vision at our base for 10 plus years. So we can take in millions of hours of content and process those against billions of merchant feeds agnostically. So unlike some of our friends, we don't own marketplaces, so we're completely agnostic. So when brand marketers like you all are partnering with folks like NBC and Paramount, we can be very agnostic in the way that we're creating those correlations and opportunities, and actually just share a voice along the way. So again, it's really, yes, I said billions. Walmart's product catalog has billions of products inside of it and correlating with millions of hours of content. All right, so I only have a few minutes up here. So I want to get into these samples. I'm going to walk you through 3. This is one episode of Vanderpump, and I want to walk you through this metadata. It looks like you actually can see it better than I was thinking you would. But the big thing is that in this one episode, I'm going to talk to you about 3 different moments, because the biggest thing I want to make clear is that our data and our tech is time sensitive, so we're processing it in real time, which is why in that Paramount sizzle you saw March Madness. So here I want you to see that in this episode, or this moment, we have a moment match engine, that we're looking quickly at IAB, at GARM, at the object level. And here you can actually see those pixel edge polygons that I was running on about. Hopefully y'all were following through my pixel edge neural nets. And on the right side, you'll see location, sentiment, and lastly, this energy index. So we kind of bridge all of those things together. And here, just use your imagination when you're doing a buy with like a Paramount or a pause opportunity in general. How would you use these? So think about this. It shows sentiment is mostly positive, but they're drinking. We know certain brands don't want to be anywhere near drinking, but also it's a positive sentiment. So why wouldn't we also place an ad like a Don Julio after this, value it up, and make sure that it's fully dynamic? So again, we can power this ad units. We also can just power a pause opportunity. But start to think about the moments inside your content with this sort of lens where you can really drill into actionable insights that you can use, again, with just looking at the data of video that didn't exist before, a targeting opportunity, a shoppable opportunity, or just valuing up the ad pod for an advertiser such as Don Julio. Getting a little bit deeper into this, we of course have facial recognition and other like product match, like I mentioned. So here you'll see the same metadata flow, different moment, all time-stamped, not just at the asset level. Here, of course, you can see Lisa directly. So we have that facial match. You'll also notice the sentiment of this moment is a little lower sentiment. So if you're a brand like a Pepsi, for example, we know they only want to buy very positive sentiment. These 2 women here are talking a bit of shit about dating, I believe, in this scene. So you might want to avoid this scene if you're that particular advertiser. But look at this, the context of this kitchen. We actually have an exact match at the logo level. We know that that's a toaster. We know that these are coffee mugs. So Wayfair, it's like, yeah, give me this moment. When another brand like a Pepsi is like, no, 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 I only want these positive moments. So it gives you this opportunity to really think about this from a human perspective, like a couple of sessions ago mentioned, but we can scale this in partnership with the infrastructures that we're creating together. In addition to this, there are ad units that, like for example, this ad unit is our Impulse ad unit. Within it, you'll actually see that this ad features Lisa. So this ad is definitely going to score higher from an attention quality perspective, from an engagement quality perspective. But I would suggest to Wayfair that we feature a couple of coffee mugs, right? And allow this sort of optimization even in the ad pod and of course in a pause unit depending on how deeply we can engage at the content level. The last example I'll show you is really just driving home that exact match. And again, we're thinking about how do we scale contextual sentiment at a time-based level, but also shoppable video, of course. You've got to crawl, walk, run it, and I'm giving you the reality of what that kind of looks like. So here, the main difference I want you to know here is we actually are looking at multiple categories of match. And what we do in partnership with folks like Paramount and NBC is we actually can associate categorical exclusions. So imagine, hey, this woman on the left actually has an earring deal. So even though I can match it with Macy's, I'm gonna avoid it, and I'm gonna lean into the velour suit that I matched because I'm allowed to with that particular facial recognition. So this sort of AI can actually utilize the obstacles that you all might perceive from a legal perspective and take them as opportunity to be able to scale this sort of thing in the future. The last quick thing I'll mention about this slide, and this is the last thing I'll do, is we have actually automated the selection of different shoppable moments. So as we're working with the content owners across all of the technologies to make it so that you can pause any content and any time and actually shop it, which is our goal. We have to work across all the content owners and whatnot to get there. We can actually create some crawl, walk, run scenarios with ad units like this that are fully automated, fully scalable, and can be actually kind of redefine what that sponsorship looks like as we get there. So hopefully, I'll leave you with this slide one more time. Hopefully you can actually see and have ideas around how to actually utilize this type of data today, because this type of data is completely unprecedented, and being able to be used at a time-based level to value up context, sentiment, product match, ads, brand safety, all of it we look at as this one pass framework. So hopefully, all my neural net jab made sense to you guys, and I thank you guys for the time.